Welcome back, everybody. This is the thejonnymar, and I am continuing with Final Fantasy I: Dawn of Souls. So last time we went into the Cavern of Earth for the second time, and we actually got all the way through to our first Fiend of an Element, and that was Lich, the Fiend of Earth. And we dominated him, we decimated him, we destroyed him for another D. And now we're checking in at Melmond to see exactly what the citizens are telling us about the fact that we actually took out Lich. And I guess the Earth is slowly starting to recover, which of course is a good thing. So what that means is basically we're done with this area of the world. And we need to head onward and basically see if we can find another Fiend of Element. You didn't think there was just one, did you? Obviously not. Come here. Oh, you were a waste to talk to. Do you guys have anything new to say? Nope. What about our princess bride guy up here? Are you still inconceivable? Ah, yes. Alright, so we need to head towards another part of the world to look for another fiend, because we still have 3 more crystals to relight. And so what we're going to do is we're going to head south from Melmond, and then we're going to head around the coast and head over to the east to this location, which is the next area we're going to go to, and that is Crescent Lake. And then from there, we're going to get a new item that will allow us to access the next area, that will allow us to access the next fiend. So let's go for a little of a voyage here. And we'll see how many encounters we get into while on the high seas. There's the marsh cave. And we'll check in with our map occasionally to make sure we're still on track and see about where we are. So we're almost there. Most continent to go. We'll head past Elfheim. We'll hook around here, and then we'll head north. And there should be a port that we can access that will allow us to head over to Crescent Lake. Yeah, it should be... is it over here? No, it's to the north. Lovely. I figured we wouldn't get the whole way without encountering an enemy. But now you have to travel on land to the south and also to the west, taking on enemies you faced before, trolls, minotaurs, scorpions, you know, the like. And we have to get across this little lake here, which of course gives the area its name, Crescent Lake, and then get into the town. If we ever get there without having to fight more random battles. But here we are. So save, and into the town we go. So there's a lot going on here in Crescent Lake. We have a new item shop, which actually sells some new stuff, like ethers. And we have some new mithril stuff. So if you are missing any mithril equipment, or you actually want to get some bucklers, because they are the rare shields that a thief and a red mage can equip. But if you missed any of the mithril equipment in the previous dungeons, you can pick up some spares and equip them. What do you have to say? Huh. I agree. We'll skip the weapon shop, or not the weapon shop, the magic shop for now. But here are the mithril swords that you used to be able to access back in Elfheim. And the mithril axe, again, is a little bit stronger, but lowers your accuracy. So we're going to buy a couple mithril swords for our 2 main attackers. And now we'll equip all of that stuff. As you can see, the mithril sword is a little bit of a boost. And then the buckler. Nice little 2-point boost to our defense. And I think that's it. Nothing else to optimize. And then we'll sell off our extra stuff. We're gonna hang on to these specialty swords just for the heck of it, because they're unique and rare weapons. Let's talk to this guy. He's sleeping. Oh, that's a nice day, I can understand that. And now let's head into the magic shops. So Crescent Lake has level 6 magic. And you're gonna find this is pretty much where you're gonna start getting to a point where you can't equip all of the magic. See, some of it can only be equipped by wizards, which is the evolved form of your mage class. So Stona, of course, gets rid of the stone status. Exit teleports you out of dungeons. Protera gives protect everyone in the party, and Invisora gives the invisible status, or increases your invasion. So we might as well max out our white mage here. We'll give Stona, and then the other two she can actually use. Not she, it's Avok. Sorry, Avok. But Protera and Invisora. And then once we evolve our red mage into a red wizard, then what we'll do is we'll give him the teleport spell. But I don't think he's actually at the point now where he can equip. Yeah, he can't equip level 6 magic yet. And now you're going to see with the red mage that you're not going to be able to get a lot of the spells. There's actually only a few spells they can equip. And most of the time they have to be a wizard in order to do that. So only Thundaga. And I'm not a big fan of the instant death spells. They don't really work very well. And they don't have a high success rate, so you're not going to see me buy death or quake or kill or any of those. I'll be focusing on pure damage potential. Alright, the last thing we have to do here is head over here, and we have a council of sages or elders. And one of them looks unique, doesn't he? And we'll get to him eventually. But they're going to give us information about the fiends and the lore of the crystals and so on and so forth. And essentially they're going to tell us that the next fiend that we can take on is the Fire Fiend, also known as Marilith. And she is located in Mount Gulg, which is to the west of here. But to access it, we're going to need a new form of transportation, which is the canoe. Unfortunately, now that we beat the Earth Fiend, one of the sages will actually give us the canoe. But he's way over on the right, so we'll get to him eventually. And eventually we do want to beat all 4 fiends. Now, you do not have to take on the Fire Fiend next. You can actually do a little side quest to upgrade your characters to the next class, and you can do a little bit of sequence breaking with the dungeons. But that's not really, in my opinion, the way the developers intended the game to be played, so I'm going to basically do it in order. Now, another thing I'm thinking about, and what I'm going to be doing with future episodes, is I actually picked up the PSP version of this game, which is essentially the same, except they upgraded the graphics and the sound, and they actually added a brand new extra dungeon in addition to the extra dungeons in this version. And many of you know that basically it is a pain in the butt for me to record this because I use an upscaler, which desyncs the audio, and so I have to spend a lot of time editing to make sure the audio and video sync up. But this is the sage that will give us the canoe. And so I may or may not switch over to the PSP version starting in the next episode. I'm going to do some trial runs to see if it's easier to record, and even if the quality is better. But here we go with the canoe. And if it is better, quality-wise, and it's easier for me to record it, then, you know, as early as the next episode, you might start seeing a little bit of a different game, although, again, it's essentially the same. But this sage here that looks different is actually Luca, that great sage they were talking about at the beginning of the game who made the prophecy. Alright, so now that we talked to all of them, we need to head towards the volcano, or mountain to the west. Let's use our canoe. And you use it automatically as soon as you walk into these narrow streams. It's the only area of the game that you can access with the canoe. And the canoe is the only thing that allows you to travel on these pathways. So now we have access to more of the world. And there are some unique enemies that are in this little river area. Like the white croc and the red piranha. So you can take some time in this area to level a little bit or fill out your beastry. We're going to try to kill them as quickly as possible. We'll see if we get into another encounter here. Nope. And once you get back to land, well, basically it's the same enemies you've been fighting. Let's head across and save. And now we're in the mountain. So brand new enemies in here except that encounter, and this is lava, which is not good for your health. So when you step on it, you're going to take damage, but it also gets rid of the encounter rate. So you will not encounter enemies while you're on the lava. So in the long run, if you're trying to minimize your damage, it's actually better to walk on the lava. Because the amount of hit points you lose from the lava damage is much less than these enemies are going to do, damage-wise. And especially if you're playing the NES version, you have to be very careful about fighting these enemies. There are a couple that have a fire spell that will hit your whole party, and it will do a lot of damage. You want to save your healing spell charges for making sure your party is in good shape. And there is a different version, a palette swap of the cockatrice in this area. I think it's called the Pyrolisk or something like that. So if you do not have the life spell with your white mage, then you need to avoid those things with a passion. Now we also have Phoenix Downs in this version. But here's the special elemental you have to fight in front of some of the treasure chests. That is the fire elemental. Weak to ice, as you might expect. But at this point, you know, you're better off using physical attacks. Because the red mage, not the greatest. But if you are playing the NES version, feel free to use your magic and your blizzard spells. Or ice spells. Yay, level up. So what do we get? Jill. Now we're gonna do a treasure run here. And that is especially highly advisable in the NES version to do a treasure run and then exit, and then heal and save, and then come back in to do the rest of the dungeon. Now since I didn't actually stay at the inn, what I'm gonna do is show you the treasure chests on this first level. And then off camera, I'm going to head back to Crescent Lake and I'm going to sleep, get some supplies like ethers and tents and such, maybe some Phoenix Downs. And then next time we're going to take on the remaining... Ooh, here are the Pyrolisks. These guys can instant kill you. I want to try to take them out as quickly as possible. And it's not their regular attack that is dangerous, that's actually an ability. That ability... No! Avok! Ms. Avok! Oh, I'm sorry. They had to kill the one character that has the life spell. Which of course means now I get to use a Phoenix Down. That's F-E-N-I-X Phoenix. And now we'll heal him up. I think Kyr's gonna be too weak at this point. So let's use Karaga. Wow, that didn't even heal him completely. Well, let's top it off with a heal then. Good enough. Let's go get our remaining treasure chests. Good lord. stupid encounter rate. Here's another new enemy, the Fire Hydra. As you might expect, most of the enemies in this area are weak to Blizzard. They're gonna be red in nature. Great sword. Not a bad weapon. I think it's effective against giants. So we're gonna stick with our mithril sword for now. Oh, I didn't mean to go down there. Yes, yes. We've already fought all these enemies. So close. Now that is a good treasure chest. Almost 5,000 Jill. I want to skip this first entrance here and head to the second one. And there's a couple chests up here. Fight some elementals. And then get some Jill. And the last little chest area is down here to the south. And this is where there's a big catch of them. That's a pressure plate right there with elementals. So we'll have to heal, because they did a butt whooping on me. And now let's loot. Mithril gloves, Mithril helm. You know, we already have all that stuff. Now to get this chest, you have to step on this pressure plate and fight the last unique enemy in this area, the lava worm. Now he just does physical attacks, so you don't have to worry about him too much. I'll just try to kill him as quickly as possible. It's kind of cool, he's got that drool coming out of his mouth. Antidote, more Jill, and more Jill. Stocking up for once we can equip Johnny with some level 6 magic. Mithril axe, and a Phoenix down. Alright, so now I'm gonna head outside. I'm gonna go back to Crescent Lake, stop at the inn. I'm gonna save, heal up, and then we'll come back, and in my next episode we will take on the rest of Mount Gulg. As always, viewers, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you all next time, where I might be playing the PSP version. So long.